Hello Python programmers. So in this video, I'm going to show you that how you can create a Python program to automate the tracking of the price of a product on an e-commerce website. So enough of the heavy words. Let's understand this project with a problem statement. Let's say that you want to buy the new Google Pixel 4a. Now that's not new, but whatever it is, you want to buy the Google Pixel 4a and you know that it is gonna be on sale on any e-commerce website. Let's take the example of Flipkart. So it is gonna be on sale on Flipkart uh, in the coming 4 to 5 hours, and you don't have all the time to just be on that website and refresh the page multiple times so that you are there when the sale is on. So what you'll do, being a programmer, your first approach will be to understand the problem and create a program for that. And in this video, we'll be doing the same. So first of all, let's draw the blueprint of this project. So we'll be using Selenium, actually not Selenium, we'll be using Beautiful Soup from BS4, we'll be using Request, and we'll be using Kinter to create a small pop-up so that whenever the price goes down, the pop-up pops out. So basically we'll be creating a program which will notify us whenever the price of a certain product decreases to a certain level, or you can customize it on yourself. Okay, so first of all, let's see that what are the things that you need to install. So you need to install a few packages. First is obviously pip install requests. This will be used to get the data from website, and then we'll be using okay, so it's not import, it's pip install bs4. So bs4 will be used to scrap the data from the website, and then we'll be using Kinter, and we don't need to install Kinter because it comes pre-installed with the vanilla Python installation. So now we are done with the installation part. So let's go to Google Chrome and let's open Flipkart. Okay, so the internet is not working. Let me check. Okay, so we are connected to internet and we are on Flipkart. So as you can see, I have searched for Google Pixel 4a a lot of times. So you can see it is 31,000 now. Now the actual price of Google Pixel 4a is approximately 29,000. So this is not the best buy price. So this is why we'll be creating a Python program, so that our Python program will notify us whenever the price goes down to 29 or 28,000. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll simply grab this website link from here just before this question mark. Okay, so let me show you that what part of the website web page you need to grab. So you need to grab this ID of this page. Okay, and this is a new Python file. So let me create a variable called pixel and store this link into a string. Okay, so pixel 4a, 128 GB, 4 GB RAM, and this is the ID. So let me confirm this, that this is the working ID by simply going on a new page and then running this. Okay, so yeah, it's working for us. So first of all, let's import all the libraries which are required for this project. So we'll be using requests. It should be requests, and then we'll be importing bs4 for the Beautiful Soup, and then we'll be importing times so that we can specify a delay like 5 to 10 seconds, so that our program refreshes the price after every 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, so then the next package that we need is Kinter. So actually we need from Kinter we need message box. So from Kinter we need message box. Now message box will be a small message box only, which will notify you that the price has gone down. Okay, now let's start off with our program. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll create an infinite loop by using the while true, and then we already have the link. So what we need to do is we'll need to get the data from this website. So we'll use our requests library, and then what we'll simply do is we'll do request dot get. It should be a dot here. Okay, so request dot get, and then this web page link. Okay, so make sure that it is inside these brackets. Okay, now we'll create a soup variable so that we can convert this extracted data from this website, all the data that is present on this web page, into a format which is understood by soup and Python, understand by beautiful soup and Python. Okay, okay, so we are done till here. So what we are saying is bs4 dot beautiful soup. So beautiful soup comes inside the bs4 package, and then we are saying, okay, so the data in this pixel variable, which is the extracted data from our Flipkart web page, convert that into text, and then using the LXML format so that it is understood by BS4. Just understand that we are converting this into a form that is understood by BS4. Okay, now what we'll do is, now let me go to the web page first, and then we'll left click and we'll do inspect so that we can check that what is the function for our price. We close this first and click on this interactive icon, and here you can see that this is the div class, this long name. This is the div class that we need, this one. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll copy this, we'll edit as HTML, and then we'll copy this part because we'll be needing this class name so that we can ask to beautiful soup that, okay, this is the class name, and find the data which is inside this class. Okay, so we'll use this soup variable which has all the data, all the classes and all the divs and all the headings is all inside this soup variable. So we'll simply say soup dot find, and then we'll define that what classes are there. Okay, so you need to follow this format, whatever I'm writing. Okay, then I'll explain you that why we are actually writing this. Okay, okay, so here we go, that this is the data that we need. So first of all, let's do one thing. First of all, let's extract the data. So we'll remove this infinite loop. We'll only check whether we are getting the data or not, because this is the most important thing in this project, to get the price basically. So yeah, price is equal to soup dot find, and then the empty attribute here, and then we are saying that the class name, the class, this was the class here, the class name is the name. Okay, so okay, now let's see that what is the type of the data. First of all, let's print the price, and then we'll see that what is the type of this data, because we need an integer to compare. We cannot compare something which is not in the integer form. Okay, so this is pretty much understood. So let's run this program, and okay, so we are getting an error. BS4 has nothing as beautiful soup. It should be beautiful soup. I guess the spelling is right now. Now make sure that this B is capital and this S is capital. I forgot that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so yeah, we are getting the output, and here you can see that this is a BS4 element. As I've told you, we need an integer for the comparison. Okay, so yeah, we need an integer for comparison. So what we'll do is we'll store all the data that is present in this price variable into a list. Now I'm just telling you the blueprint of what we'll be doing. We'll be converting, or we'll be converting all this into a list, and then we'll be just extracting the data that we require and then converting that into an integer. it will be a very easy task, and I'll show you step by step that how we are doing this. Okay, so let's create a variable prices, and it will be an empty list. Okay, so we'll simply do prices dot append, and then we'll append this with prices. Actually, it should be price. The variable name having all the data is price, so we'll do price dot text. Okay, so now let's print our price again. Actually, the prices again. Okay, so here we can see that we got this 31,999 data into our prices variable. So now we got this into a list, but we want this in an integer format. So what we'll do, so let me remove this. So what we'll do is we'll create an actual price variable. Now I'm doing these things in total layman format because I want to make sure that the things are very simple so that it is easily understandable. So let's move on. So what we'll do is we know that this list has only one element, and the first element is the price itself. So what we'll do is we'll save this price, which is inside a list which is in the string format, inside this actual price variable. So we'll do uh, prices. Price is the variable name, and then 0 because it is present at the 0 index. Okay, so let's print our actual price, and you will see that it is having 31,990. Okay, so this is in string format. So let me show you. I'm making sure that I'm doing this step by step because I saw many comments on my previous videos that you are not showing things step by step. Okay, so I'm now doing things step by step. So let me remove this now. So what we need to do is the data that is present inside this string is also having the rupee sign and also having the comma sign. So we cannot really convert this into an integer at this moment. So what we'll do is we'll take all the numbers that is present inside the string and just join them and then convert that into an integer. So what are the numbers? So first let's see that how the actual variable looks, the actual price variable looks. So what am I doing? I don't know. It should be print actual price. Okay, so here you can see that we need to extract the first, the Python indentation start from 0. So indexing start from 0. So the first element, the second element, and the fourth, fifth, and sixth element is what we need to extract. So what we'll simply do is we'll remove this now. So we'll use this variable again because I don't want to create more and more variable. So what we'll do is we'll extract from first to third element, from first to the third element, and then we'll be adding this to actual variable, and then we'll be adding this from fourth to seventh digits. Okay, so from first to third, these two, and from fourth to seven, the last three. Okay, so let's run this and let's print what is inside our actual price variable. Okay, so no, I don't want to buy. So let's run our program. Okay, so here we can see that we are getting the 31999 value, and then we can convert this into an integer number. So let's create the variable price only so that it's simple, and then we'll convert this into int, and the variable name is actual price. So now we got the value in integer format. Now let's create the infinite loop so that we can extract the values infinitely, and I'll use the tab so that we can indent all the values. Okay, so now I have indented all the lines. So we'll use time.sleep to take a halt in this infinite loop, otherwise it will go like 1,000 times in 1 second, and this is not the ideal way. we'll use a lot of processing power, and we do not want that. So let's say that we want this program to fetch the data or to compare the price after every 10 microseconds. I know this is also a very small values, but let's say that we are comparing this after every 10 microseconds. Okay, so yep, we got this. Now the simple if and else condition. If the price is, let's say, greater than the price of the actual Google Pixel 4a is 29,000, approximate 29,000, and if it is greater than if it is less than 29,000, then we want to simply print. Now here I am showing this with print statement first so that we can check our program is working fine or not. Then we'll use the kinter to create the message box. Okay, so let's say buy. Okay, now elif, it should be elif here. Elif the price is greater than 29,000, then we don't want to buy this mobile now because it's overpriced. So actually let's do nothing here. Let's simply pass it. Okay, so we'll pass this. So yeah, let's run our program and see whether it's working fine or not. Okay, so we got an error. It is an indentation error. Okay. Okay, so we haven't specified anything here, and let's run this. Okay, so we aren't getting any output because the price is less than is more than 29,000. So let me close this and let me open this once again, and let me write something here so that we can actually get the output and we can check whether the program is working fine or not. So not buy, not buy, not buy. Okay, so let's save this and let's run our program. Okay, so we are getting an error here. Okay, so the none type value has no attribute as text. Okay, so this is pretty strange. Okay, so we are getting not by, not by, not by, and after 10 seconds we will again get not by, not by, not by. So let me wait for 10 seconds so that I can confirm. Okay, so yeah, we got not by, not by, not by. So our program is working and it is working fine. Okay, so now let's add the message box so that we can give a good GUI look to our project. So what we'll do is we'll only change this. Actually, let me close this. Now, if any of our viewer is using this editor, then can you tell me that how we can stop this program in between, because I am not getting that. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll create a Kinter message box. So Kinter dot message box, and we'll use this show info. Now there are a lot of methods to create a Kinter GUI for pop-up. You can use the orthodox method of creating a Kinter GUI, and actually it is the ideal way. You can actually customize the message, but I'll be creating a simple GUI show info pop-up so that we can pretty much make a basic project. Okay, so the title of this GUI will be, let's say, hello, and the message that this GUI will show is, let's say, bye bye bye. Okay, so let me save this and let me run our program, and actually nothing will happen because the price is more than 29,000. So let me copy the same to this also so that we can confirm that our GUI is also working. So not buy, not buy, not buy, not buy, not buy, not buy. Okay, so let me save my program and let's run our program. Okay, so Kinter is not defined. Okay, so we need to import Kinter also. Import Kinter, and then from Kinter we need to import the message box. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, Okay, so yep, we got the message of hello, not by, not by, not by, and this is how the project will work. So let me close this. Okay, so yep, it will take some time. Okay, so yep, this is how this project will work. Now you can customize this project as you want. You can create a proper GUI for this. I showed this show info to just to give you an idea that this concept can be applied to this project, and you can customize this project as you want. You can add multiple products here. You can create a GUI to select the products. Now the possibilities of this project are infinite, and you can really create awesome projects. Okay, and I expect from you to create awesome projects. Okay, so this is it, and I'll meet you in my next lecture where we'll create something more awesome. Okay, so meet you there. Bye bye.